Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of the community. Thank you for all the messages I've been getting. It means the world to me. I say that every single recording, but it's true. It means the world to me. Seeing the community that we're building with Presence of Being and just like what I see it continue being and what I see it continuing to become, it is very exciting. So thank you for being here. Thank you if you have been here. Thank you if you are tuning in for the first time. Welcome. In today's recording, I want to talk about attracting higher vibrational friends and cultivating a social circle of people who motivate you, inspire you, and are on the same wavelength as you. You are going to attract who you are. In whatever way, shape, or form that comes about, know that it will come about. If you are someone who is reaching a certain goal or investing in themselves, taking care of their well-being, physical, mental, all aspects, your life is going to reflect who you are. So if you are someone who works on themselves, cares about their well-being, like I said, and is doing everything they can to grow in every area, you're going to experience things in your life that help you grow and get better and that reflect your inner state. Now, things may happen externally that may be challenging, but it's there for your betterment. It's there for your growth. If you wanted the best possible life for yourself in all areas, don't expect everything to be seamless. Like, the journey to you getting there is going to require patience and you being present enough to realize that there may be obstacles, but overcoming those obstacles is going to enable you to grow in different areas, like your character, for example, that's going to help you ultimately get to the places that you want to get to. So let's say, for example, you are in a position right now where you're working on yourself and maybe you don't really fit in with your old friend group because they're not interested in self-development. They're not interested in the kind of things that you are now into. I know, for example, in my life, like the second that I actually got serious about my goals, people that I had surrounded myself with, they weren't as interested in the kind of stuff that I was interested in, and I slowly over time, and I think it's natural, you stop hanging out with those people because your interests change. And you may be in a period of time right now where your friend group, you don't really fit in with your old friend group anymore, but you don't necessarily have the friends that you want that are interested in the same kind of things as you. You're in this like weird middle period. And from personal experience, I know exactly what that's like. It's this weird gap that you may find yourself in, where you haven't yet had the outcomes to have a new group of friends, and you are separating yourself from people who you used to associate with. You continuing to work on yourself and strive to become the best version of yourself, strive to be your most authentic self, you are going to inevitably attract people who are also on that same wavelength. And by continuing to be your most authentic self, people who resonate with the inauthentic version of you are going to fade away. They're not going to be your friends anymore. You're just going to notice you're hanging out with them less, or you are associating yourself with them less. And that's normal and completely natural, and it's something that will happen as you continue to grow, as you continue to level up. The people who are meant to be in your life will come into your life, and they may come into your life for a specific season and then leave, but they will come and they're there to teach you something, and you have to be open to that and realize that the people that are meant to stay in your life will be in your life and be there to stay. The people that you want to associate yourself with, people who vibe the same way as you, people who are on the same frequency as you, resonate with the same things that you resonate with, you may not know them now, but they're out there and they're doing their own thing. They're pursuing their goals. They're growing in different areas just like you are. And by you sticking to your guns, continuing to just be yourself and work towards whatever it is you're working towards, you're going to meet. At some point you will meet, and your paths are going to connect. People who have vision and are working towards something realize that sometimes it can be lonely. Sometimes they have to go at it alone. But eventually, if you continue to operate from that level of energy, you are going to meet people that match that level of energy. It's just going to require you to go down a different path than a lot of people go down. Most people don't care to grow. They don't care to better themselves. And I reference the box in my last recording, how a lot of people stay inside the box. They don't venture outside of the box. The people who are outside of the box and pursuing something greater than them, they're going to connect. They're going to meet at some point. You just have to stay true to you, stay true to your vision, and continue to work towards whatever it is you're working towards. You've been friends with a specific group of people for a significant amount of time, maybe your entire childhood. But just because that's the case, it doesn't mean you are going to be friends with these people for the rest of your life. You may have completely different interests as those people, and it's just the harsh reality sometimes. Like, if you can separate yourself because you're interested in other things, maybe you care to grow. Maybe the people who you normally associate with don't care to grow. Maybe they engage in activities that are harmful to them. Maybe they go out all the time and you like to stay in and work on yourself. Like, who knows what it could be? Everybody's different. Everyone has different relationships with their friends. But if you're someone who is just on a different path and doing different things, don't not do what you feel called to do or what you feel is right internally just because you want to fit in with another group of people or people who you've associated with for a very long time. And that is hard. It is easier said than done. If you've been friends with a certain group of people, let's say, for a significant amount of time, it's hard to detach. But if you don't, then you're going to be hanging around people who bring you down or people that limit your potential and put a cap on what you can do. So you have to choose. Live your life. Do what, people are going to live their life regardless and engage in activities that they want to engage in. People have priorities and are going to stick to those priorities. But if you're someone who wants to grow and get better, sometimes you're going to have to go at it alone, but eventually you will meet the people that are meant for you and the people who are also interested in the same things as you. It may not happen right away, but it will happen, and you have to have faith that it'll happen. By continuing to do what you are interested in and do what you feel called to do, you will inevitably attract people in your life who are operating on the same wavelength as you. It takes courage to put yourself out there and engage in practices that better you. It takes courage, it takes guts, but if you can do it, it's amazing what can happen from you taking that action. And think about it this way too. If you are not yourself around a certain group of people, or you know that you're not your true self, you know that you are limiting yourself by being around a certain group of people, like, how is that going to reflect in the way that you feel, in your ability to go out and actually do the things that you want to do? Like, you are seriously limiting yourself when you aren't yourself and you are surrounding yourself with people who kind of suck that energy, that life force out of you. If you are someone who is inspired and wants to do great things and is motivated to do great things, but you do not have the courage to, and it takes a lot of courage, but you don't have the courage to pull yourself out of a friend group that's limiting you, slowly over time, your motivation is going to lessen and lessen and lessen and lessen. And eventually you're just not going to go out and do the things that you want to do. And the people that are waiting for you, the people that are actually meant for you, that you are going to meet later down the line, if you continue to work on that one thing that you want to work towards, or continue to be yourself and continue to take action towards wherever it is you want to go, you're not going to meet them. Like, they're just not going to come into your life because you aren't listening to yourself and you just aren't being yourself. The people that are meant for you are going to come into your life at the perfect time, but you have to be you in order for that to actually happen. Also, and this is just an add-on point, like, get clear about the kind of people who you want to surround yourself with. If you don't yet have the friends that you want in your life, get clear and define what kind of people you want to attract in your life. Who do you want into your life? Who do you want to be surrounded by? People who don't yet have the friends that they want can be desperate for friendship and are going to accept anybody who comes into their life that may remotely have some of the qualities that they actually haven't gotten clear on but may vaguely want in their friends. And the people who are desperate for friendship and accept anybody into their friend group and is not selective at all about the people who they surround themselves with, that's like, people don't want to be around that person. There's a quote that's like, the person who's friends with everyone is friends with no one. If you aren't clear about the types of people who you want to surround yourself with, the kind of people who you want in your social circle, in your friend group, then you're not going to know what to look for. And when those people are ready to come into your life, you're not going to see them. You're not going to be aware that they exist because you haven't gotten clear internally about the kind of things that you want, the kind of people who you want to surround yourself with. They're out there. The people who you want to be friends with and people who are going to vibe with you are out there. You just need to know what you are looking for. I've said this many times, but if you want to attract anything into your life, you got to know what you want. You got to know at least what you can embody in order for that to come in order for that to flow in effortlessly. So trust that if you're in a period of time right now where, like I said, you're in that weird gap between moving on from a group of people that no longer serve you and you haven't yet had the outcomes to have a new group of friends, trust that you are in the perfect place at the perfect time for you on your journey. Just continue to be yourself, continue to work on what you're working on, have a vision, and focus on just like what you feel called to do, while also defining the types of people who you want to surround yourself with. Know that the people for you will come into your life at the perfect time. The people that are for you and meant to be in your life will come into your life because they're also working on what they're working on. They're also focusing on bettering themselves in all areas, just like you. So eventually you're going to meet. Just getting clear on who you want in your life, the kind of people who you want to surround yourself with, their character traits, that's important because you're going to know what to look for. So I know this is a bit of a shorter recording, but I wanted to get this message out there because I think it's really important. And it's something that I'm dealing with myself. And I have to remind myself frequently, like, if you keep working on what you're working on and building the kind of things that you're building, you are going to attract people in your life who are operating on the same wavelength as you and who really are into the same things as you. And because these people also work on themselves and have their own things that they're building and cool things that they're doing in their life, they're going to want to share it with you and hang around people who are like-minded. So keep your head up if you're in that weird gap period. I feel like a lot of people are, especially people who are just getting into self-development. So keep your head up high and trust that if you're just being yourself, doing your thing, continuing to work on yourself, that's the best thing that you could do. So again, thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of our community. And if you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, you know where to go. And yeah, thank you again for being here, and I will see you in the next recording.